This is Dominic Singh of the Worley Bugger Fly Shop. I'm here today to demonstrate how to tie a bonefish pattern that we found works really well in Christmas Island, which we offer some hosted trips there. You can contact the shop for the details on that. This pattern is specific to Christmas Island. It's one that I've developed over a few years. I've sent it out with a lot of people there, kind of refined how I tie it. I've experimented with some different materials. You have a lot of different options with this pattern, and it's quite a unique fly as far as bonefish patterns go. So let's get started. Right, to start with this fly, we're going to start with a saltwater hook of your choice. This is a Daiichi 2547 saltwater hook in a size 6. This pattern fishes best in a size 6 or 8. So what I'll do is I'll line this up in the vise here so that the shank is level with the rotary jaws. That just allows you to lay a really good thread base on the fly, which is really important when especially when you're working with bead chain or lead eyes, is to get a good thread base. So I'll let that pass at least 2 or 3 times. Let's build up a good surface to work on. Right. At this point I can raise the hook up a bit. I'm going to tie in the tail first. So for the tail I use ultra chenille, this, in either a cream or a tan color. Now this stuff just off the card comes out, cut it pretty square like this, so you want to take a lighter and just barely touch the ultra chenille to the flame, give it a nice taper. That way you don't end up with a big burnt end on the end either. So I'll take that, and typically, if you're following proportions, about a hook shank and a half, and lay that on top of the hook shank, tie it down a bit, and trim it to about the end of where you want that ribbed body. Once that's secure, take a pair of bead chain eyes. It's good to tie this fly in a variety of weights. Typically tie some with small bead chain, large bead chain, small and large lead eyes, and figure 8 those in. At this point I'll add a drop of super glue, keep those locked in. Right. For the body of this fly, I'm going to take some final rib, just the shrimp pink, medium size. And you want to find the edge that is flat and tie that end facing up. That way you get the curve of the rib. Get the curve of the rib as the first thing that comes over that hook shank. So lock that in. And next for the flash, I like this mini flat braid. Adds a really great flash point on the body of that fly. It really shows up through the rib as well. This is a pretty bonefishy color too. It's the peachy pearl. Let's tie that in nice and secure, and start wrapping that up. Just trying to keep a level body there. Really tight wraps. Trim off right when you get to the bead chain there. And now for the vinyl rib. Once you get it to flip over, expose that round side. There we go. And since this stuff is kind of slippery to work with, I do find that adding a drop of super glue just at the starting point can help in wrapping the rest of the body. Just add some extra strength to the fly as well. Let's bring that up to the bead chain. I like to tie it off under the fly, then flip the fly over and cut the vinyl rib in the middle of the hook shank there, and then throw a thread wrap over the sharp edge there just to keep it flat with the fly so it's not sticking out. And then you can tie that down really smooth and flat there. Now that you have a very, very durable body, protect this fly. So for the collar on this fly, I like the EP Tarantula brush. Super, super just shrimpy, buggy, wormy, very good saltwater material. Really easy to work with as well, and you get a lot of flies out of each pack. So I'll take one wrap behind the bead chain, in between the eyes, like that. One wrap in front of the eyes. And kind of split the fiber over the eyes like this. Now what that does is it helps conceal those eyes, and also the more fiber that you have around the bead chain on that, the softer it'll land, which is really helpful in those skinny water situations. You know, a lot of commercial patterns don't really conceal the eyes very well, so the flies land very hard on the water. So I've taken about a total of 1.5 wraps of this brush. You really don't need that much. And once I have, you know, some of the fibers separated there, take a dull pair of scissors, trim that wire. And then I smooth all the fiber back, tie down the loose end of that brush, and you can make a really neat head. So you'll also see just a few fibers sticking out here. Nice thing about EP fibers though is they melt into the fly really well. So just take a lighter and brush the head of that. Great smooth head. This thread, by the way, is a very good bonefish color as well. It's the fluorescent shell pink UTC thread. I like this in the 140 for bonefish flies. Form that nice head there, and ready to whip finish. Now to finish this fly, I like to use some UV resin. You want to find something that's fairly thin. And just coat that head smoothly. Hit it with your UV light. Now you have a very, very durable bonefish worm pattern. Excellent fly for Christmas Island. Has some freshwater applications as well if you're into carp. So we'll be using this pattern a lot on our upcoming Christmas Island trips. I will be tying these a lot for the trips that are going out next year. I'll be hosting one of those and tying all the flies that, you know, if anyone wants any custom flies. These are very specific to the island. You know, it's difficult often to find commercial flies that really fit the applications there. So I hope you can join us, and look forward to fishing somewhere tropical.